Hi, and welcome to our video review session with Maisie and No Bones About It dog training. I kind of let her do that because I wanted you to kind of see how I would deal with behaviors that I don't love, meaning I have treats in my hand, so she was jumping up on my lap. Here we go again. Yes. And I completely ignored her. I didn't look at her. I didn't say off. I didn't say no. I just completely ignored her, and I waited for her to offer me a behavior which I liked, which was just don't jump on me. And then I rewarded her. So that's, again, real quick, we got right into it. I have a whole spiel about things that I want you guys to be working on. Go find it over the week. But that was kind of a good introduction as to real life skills and how we practice getting a dog to understand it's not about me telling the dog all the time what to do. No, off, sit down. It's make good choices, yes, and you're gonna get rewarded. And that way the dog starts practicing better behavior on their own. That's what we want. We don't have to want to constantly be telling a dog what to do. They figure out, oh, these are the things that they like, and these are the things I get rewarded for. And then the other stuff, it doesn't go away immediately, but it will slowly go away if the dog pulls no reward from it. There's so many things I want to talk about, and I don't want it to be overwhelming, but let's say I know, like, biting at the girls, and hey, can you go to your bed? Up here. Biting at everybody, and yes, and then yes, biting hair, things like that. So we kind of have a couple options. We want to try as best we can to make sure that we can prevent unwanted behaviors from happening. So if there are particular things that egg the dog on to do that, let's say you're lying on the couch and the dog jumps up and that's a place where they start ripping at your hair. Okay, well, maybe the dog needs to be on a tie down sometimes if you just want to relax. Meaning, I put a bed out, I maybe get a bowl of kibble, and I just keep tossing kibble down on that bed so that that becomes a more enticing game than jumping up and biting at me and biting at my hair. Last night you sent me the picture, frozen Kong. Great, yeah, it only lasts for 10 minutes, but we're establishing better routines and better behavior. Okay, so right now I'm totally ignoring her, but I am taking the opportunity to toss cookies down onto this bed. So the more I do this, the more this is a place she just wants to hang out and relax and not be, bugging me. And then the treats eventually can go away. So we'll talk more about that down the road. I want to get into having you practice some of what we call our foundation games. Okay, our foundation games, again, so right now she's trying to, yes. Okay, so she was trying to steal the treats, what I call. She's licking at my hands, gnawing at my hands. So I'm just ignoring that, and I'm waiting for her, yes, to just make a different choice. And then I reward that different choice, which is lie on your bed. Or just stay on your bed. Yes, good girl. Good girl. So our foundation games are the things that everything builds from. Okay, this week we work on what we call name game. We work on hand targeting. Those are the two big ones we're working on in addition to everything else. But here's how we're gonna practice. So let's talk about name game. Name game is not about teaching your puppy their name. It's about teaching your puppy that when I say your name, you need to stop what you're doing and look at me and find out what I need. It is the basis of everything we work on. If I cannot get my puppy in a distracting environment to stop what they're doing and listen to what I need, forget it. I could teach them 10,000 different skills, but if I can't get them to stop and pay attention, not very helpful. So, did you get bored? Oh, well, that's a good choice too. That's a nice choice, thank you. So, really taking time to reward what I call overlooked behaviors. We tend to correct the dog all the time for bad behavior, right? but we don't take the time to go, wow, you're being such a good kid right now. You're being such a good pup by just choosing to lie down on the ground at my feet or to not be getting into trouble. So I utilize their kibble because I go through a lot of stuff during the day. So I keep, like, let's say she eats 3 cups of food a day. I might pull out at least a cup of that, and I might use it just randomly throughout the day so that I can be rewarding sort of those overlooked behaviors. I'm gonna mix in really yummy treats here and there, yes. But it's important that you are prepared to always reward the things that you like, okay? Super, super important. Man. So the name game, let's get back to that. Again, teaching your puppy to focus and pay attention. So normally what I need to do, because once I have treats, the dog usually is sort of glued to me and focused. So I need a way to practice this that gets the dog to be slightly distracted so that I can practice saying the dog's name. They give me eye contact. I use what we call a marker word, which is going to be the word yes. I'll get to that. It's also going to be in your handbook. Read through what the marker word is. It is essential. If you don't use it, your puppy's going to be confused because they're not going to know what they do. They're not going to know when they do the right thing. So our word yes happens the moment the dog does what I've asked. All right. So in this instance, Maisie, yes. All I need is eye contact. Okay. So the minute she gives me eye contact, Maisie, yes. She hears the word yes, and then she gets a cookie. Okay. So the way that I practice this a lot is by doing a treat toss, meaning I take a piece of kibble, something not as exciting, I toss it away from the puppy, they go and they find it, and then I go ahead and I utilize their name to practice name games. So it looks something like this. I'm gonna do so she walks towards me. Ready? Go find it. Easy! Yes! Good job! So when I say her name, she should be so excited. She should have lots. Go find it. Easy. Yes. Good girl. And she should want to move towards me. Move this out of the way. Easy. Yes. Good job. Okay. We also, in order to get, ready? Go find it. In order to get no jumping, Maisie! A lot of times I'm going to put treats on the ground when she comes to me to avoid the jumping, so that the value stays low to the ground, okay? So again, the only reason I'm doing the treat toss when telling her go find it is to get the dog distracted and away from me so then I can practice name game. Go find it. Maisie! Yes! Good girl. And you can see how this is going to build into us teaching a puppy to come when called, because she's learning the value of running to me and giving me attention. Good girl. All right, our second thing that we're going to practice is what we call hand targeting. It is a fantastic way to get your puppy to refocus. It doesn't work. Again, I'm just ignoring that behavior that I don't like. It'll dissipate. She'll stop doing it. So if she's doing stuff that I don't like, or if she's, say, lunging at another dog, barking at another dog, I can practice hand targeting at any point to refocus my dog. So here we go. It looks like this. Touch. Yes. All she has to do is touch her nose to the palm of my hand. Okay, I'm going to just go sideways so you can see what this looks like. Touch. Yes. And then I'm going to deliver the treat right in front of my hand target. Okay? Touch. Yes. Because again, I want the value to stay right around my hand so that she really focuses on that, because I eventually want to be able to do multiple hand targets for one treat. Okay? Now, what happens if I go and I put my hand out? Well, first of all, how you practice hand targeting is important. If you just like do this kind of like not really obvious, like in front of your body, dog might not move towards it. Okay, so think about moving, sort of using a little bit of your body language out to the side around the puppy's nose level. Touch. Yes, that's what's going to get them interested right now in moving towards and bonking your hand with their nose. Touch. Yes. But if I put my hand out and I said touch and the dog didn't move towards it, I don't want you moving your hand towards the dog. I want you to simply put it away, try again. Okay? Don't keep your hand out there repeating the word. We never want to repeat cues. Okay, same thing. Number one rule of name game is don't repeat the name. If your puppy doesn't look at you the first time, stop. Figure out how to make it easier before you try again. Same thing with hand targeting. If I said touch, the puppy didn't touch, why? Let me quickly review, like what happened? Was it too distracting? Am I too far away? How can I make it easier for the dog to be successful the next time I try? So you can see when she gets frustrated or bored, her go-to is to jump on me to gain my attention. And it's because in the past, this has got her attention. It makes people look at her, it makes people talk to her, even if you're telling her no. My gig is just, I don't even acknowledge it. There are other things we can talk about down the road if that really got super aggro and she kept like coming at me and biting at me. That would be a time when I would separate myself from her. So again, so many things to talk about in this first week, but I don't want to overwhelm. All I want you to think about is management in the house, utilizing your crate, maybe utilizing tie downs, making going to a bed an exciting, fun activity by continuing to toss cookies down there and treats and kibble and get rewarded. And then work on name game and hand targeting. That's all. That's all you need to do. But again, this is week one. We've got, she's in the next couple weeks, she's going to come a long way, I promise. So hang in there. I hope you guys have a great 4th of July, and I will see you next Wednesday.
Good job, Maze.